Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for yet again another Walking Dead video. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a discussion video. It's kind of a hot topic right now out there in the Walking Dead world, particularly around the ones who live. After we got that long-awaited trailer, there was one scene in there, one little clip that really grabbed people's attention. And the reason I really think it's kind of grabbed so many people's attention, why it's causing such a ruckus, is because it really throws back to the second season of Walking Dead, particularly I want to say episode 3, maybe somewhere in there, or maybe episode 6, I can't remember. I know it's right there in that first half, where we started getting our flashback scenes of how things went down the way they did after the rise of the dead, after the world really started falling apart. And it's within the scene that we get a flashback of our characters, particularly Shane, Lori, Carol, her husband, all these characters when they're first meeting and everything, jammed up on the highway trying to get away from the area, where we get an overlook shot of downtown Atlanta, and then we see napalm getting dropped in the streets by helicopters, and we got a really similar shot in the trailer. So everybody's thinking, could this be connected? Did CRM exist that far back? Were they the ones that kind of stepped in after the regular government fell apart and they just kind of took over in their place? And they were the one making the calls to drop fire bombs or regular bombs or just take out large cities that would help try to contain what was going on. Because we also saw something kind of similar in Dead City, where we see that all the major bridges going in and out of Manhattan are blown as a way, again, to try to contain the spread of whatever was going on, so people had no idea. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, was that shot, because we don't know if it's another flashback scene to that same spot of Atlanta. Maybe they're going to try to dive in and really explain, were they responsible? Did they have some say in those decisions that bombed out cities? Or is this just a kind of a flashback to the Philadelphia area where this is supposed to take place? Did they do the same thing there? Did the CRM say so? Or are they just kind of, is this kind of a CRM telling their side of the story of what happened before they took over? Because you could also say, with that kind of backstory being told, is it being told from the view of Major General Beal? Was he still in the military at that time and the world really started falling apart? Because we did find out through an interview that he is former military, former U.S. military. He had a couple of tours in Vietnam and he'd done officer training school. And so naturally he falls into that CRM role really well with no problems and nothing really holding him back. And not only that, he's this commanding officer where he has little to no interaction with the CRM government. The CRM government and the CRM military, as we know, are two very different entities. And so he has all of this control over this large military force with no say-so from a governing power other than the military itself. So is this him telling the story of how things went down, or how it was from his point of view as the world was falling apart? And is this something that maybe pushed him towards getting back into that role? Because he could have very well since been retired when everything really started falling apart. And this is him telling that story that he was going back into it. This is decisions that he had to make or whatever. So it's just really interesting. It's really grabbing people's attention. That kind of begs the question, did the CRM really exist that far back? Were they kind of in the back corners of our own government and they kind of stepped in and took over when the original government kind of failed to really prevent this or really failed to do anything about it? And so we got this new military entity that has taken over. They have a community of over 250,000 people, one of the largest communities we've come across so far in this world. And not only that, we see that shot is that kind of giving backstory or explaining that he had something to do with the decision to take out Omaha as well as the college campus community. So it really leaves a lot of questions up in the air. Is he actually going to turn out to be rather awful? I mean, we see in the trailer that he's trying to, I guess, sort of connect with Rick, trying to figure out what it is that he really wants. And we don't know at what point this is. Is this after he's tried to escape a couple times, or is this right before he escapes, or just something that grabs his attention and really want to have a sit down with Rick out of everyone within that community? And why Rick is such a prominent character within that particular community or that settlement or whatever it is. So really it just leaves a lot of questions of what is really going on in the background. How far back does it go? Who was involved in the decision-making process of eliminating cities or trying to quarantine them or whatever the case is? I imagine that it probably started with the original U.S. military slash government, and then it moved on to the CRM. Someone else stepped in to take power, and just, it could probably go a lot of different directions at this point, but it's something that I think it's kind of an open discussion at this point. It's open-ended, where this is probably one of a few different videos I'm going to make about this as we get into the series, as we get more information, some backstory, some flashbacks, some info from Beal or Jadis, just kind of helping us discover what is going on. But anyways, guys, that is the quick video I want to do for you guys. We'll probably continue this discussion in another video. So until next time, subscribe, comment, like, all that jazz. Take care, guys. Bye.